right, so for the last part of today's notes, getting you ready for section 5.5 on parallel and perpendicular lines, we're going to do guided notes pages 28D all the way up to page 31. So basically, let's go over the basics like we've already learned in the other two videos. So for parallel lines, they have to have the same slope. Then they are considered parallel. And this is just saying another way that if two non-vertical lines are parallel, make sure you're copying this in as we go, they have to have the same slope. And then for perpendicular lines, like you watched in the last ed puzzle, hopefully you remember to make perpendicular lines, what has to be true about the slopes? Yeah, they have to have opposite reciprocals. So two non-vertical lines have the same slopes, are the slopes that are opposite reciprocals. And then that means they are perpendicular. And then just like it says the other way around, two non-vertical lines are perpendicular. I'm just going to write that for short if the slopes are opposite reciprocals. So an example of that, like we did in the last video, is if you had like a slope of 8, the opposite reciprocal of that would be 8 is really 8 over 1, so it would be opposite of 8 is negative, and then reciprocal of 8 is 1 over 8. Another one, just for the heck of it, would be m equals 3/4. So if you want the opposite reciprocal, what would it be? Negative 4 over 3. So let's go through the example so you can do the checkpoints, and it'll be good for you to try the homework for this section, the second homework really for this section that I'm assigning. So for the first example, it says write an example of the line that passes through 2, 4 and is parallel to y equals 4x plus 1. So with this one, this is my second time recording this video, so I kind of realized from last video, it's up to you what you prefer. So you could use point slope to write this perpendicular line, or you could use mx plus b and solve for b. So for this one, I'm going to just do the solving for b method. So I'll make this x, this y, and then our slope, if it's going to be parallel, what's the opposite reciprocal of 4? It's negative 1 over 4. So so you can see here that's kind of what they did in this example. So I'm going to plug in everything I know. So my y is 4, my m is negative 1 over 4, and my x is 2. So then negative 1/4 times 2 is going to be, yeah, this will be, hold on, I think I have that right. 1/4. Oh my goodness, I messed up. It's supposed to be parallel. What am I thinking? I jumped to perpendicular already. So the slope's going to have to stay 4 like that. My bad. So m is 4, x is 2, y is 4. So for this one, I have to just change this back to a 4 here, positive 4. So now I can solve for b, and you get 4 equals 8 plus b, minus 8 on both sides. You're left with b is negative 4. So then at the bottom here, you can write the entire equation. M is 4, b is negative 4, so you get y equals 4x minus 4. So then if you wanted to check this on Desmos, I'll show you one example of that here, just to show you. It would be y equals 4x plus 1, and then here is y equals 4x minus 4, and you can see it's supposed to go through the point 2, 4, that second one in blue. So if I go 2, 4, excuse me, sorry, it goes right through there at 2, 4, like it was supposed to. So turn the page, let's do the next example, example 2. So now I think we're going to be working, this is on page 29, Now we're going to be working with perpendicular lines. So hopefully I don't make the opposite mistake and try to make a parallel line. So determine which of the following lines, if any, are parallel or perpendicular. Okay, so now I get what we're doing here. So for that determination, we have to get the slope of each line. So the easiest one that pops out to me is line B, because you can see right here the slope is 4. Okay, let's try to figure out the slope for line C. So I got to solve for y, so I'll minus x here, 4y equals negative x plus 8, and I divide everything by 4, and I'm left with y equals, there's an assumed 1 there, negative 1/4 x plus 2. So now you can see here the slope for this one is, so I'll put here for line C, m is negative 1/4. So that should definitely make you be thinking if these two are parallel or perpendicular. For the next one, line A, again, I'm going to solve for y. So I'm going to minus 12x, I'm left with negative 3y equals negative 12x plus 3. Divide everything by negative 3. And I'm left with y equals 4x minus 1. So here the slope is 4 again. So the slope's 4. Sorry, that got really messy, but what you're supposed to be focusing in on here for line A, the slope's 4. For line B, the slope's negative 1/4. And for line C, no. Line C is negative 1/4. Line B is 4. And line A is also 4. That's what happens when I don't use all the blanks. So now we can I'll just kind of skip down to the bottom. Since A and B, so let's look at them just kind of here. So which two have to be parallel? So A and B have to be parallel. And then is negative 1/4 an opposite reciprocal of 4? Of course it is. So you can now say if A and B are parallel, then C is perpendicular to both of them. So it would go perpendicular to B and perpendicular to A. So I'll just put down in here that I'll just put it at the bottom. I totally didn't use any of the lines here. So A and B are parallel. And then I would put C and A and C and B are perpendicular, like that. Okay, so if you could pause the video and try checkpoints 1 and 2, and then see how that comes out for you. So in number 1, you're going to write the equation that passes through this line and is parallel, and then same thing, determine which of these lines are parallel or perpendicular. So sorry, you can pause the video now. So if you got it right, hopefully you were able to see for number 1, you got negative 3x minus 6. So again, I did this both methods so you can see. So up here I did the point slope method. So you can see I used negative 3 as my slope because I want it to be parallel. 6 is my y, and positive 4 was my x. And then I distributed and solved for y, negative 3x minus 6. Or if you solve for b, it also comes out to negative 3x minus 6. For these, number 2, I wish they were more creative, but it's the same types of slopes, except now A and B, you got slopes of negative 4, and C was 1/4. So it's literally the same answer. A and B are parallel, C and A and C and B are perpendicular. Again, that's because what's the opposite reciprocal of negative 4? It's positive 1/4. All right, so we got one more example. 2 more examples and a couple checkpoints. Okay, so here goes. So with this one, determine whether the lines are perpendicular. Okay, so now we're going to look for opposite reciprocals, and we're going to look for the slope of line A and line B. So for line A, this time I'll try to use the dots, the lines here instead of going off the page. So it looks like here we subtract, we divide everything by 6, and you're left with y equals 5 over 6 x plus 4/3. So the slope is 5 over 6. So now for this one, what are we looking for the slope to be? We want it to be negative 6 over 5. And if I divide by negative 10, I end up getting y equals, there it is, negative 6 over 5x minus 1. So because they're opposite reciprocals, then you would say yes, they are perpendicular. All right, so you're going to watch the third video or the second video of this in just a little bit, and that will have example 4 and the last checkpoints.